For over a century, Japan was consumed by endless civil war. Warlords rose and fell as the land burned with conflict. In 1534, a son was born to the Oda clan in Owari province. His name was Nobunaga, destined to shatter the old world. 3 years later, in 1537, a peasant child entered the world. He was called Hideyoshi, and fate had extraordinary plans for him. In 1543, a boy named Ieyasu was born in Mikawa province. From his earliest days, he would know only captivity and patience. 3 men, 1 era, 1 land torn apart by war. Each carried a destiny that would reshape the course of history. They were born of the same age, the same troubled soil, yet each would walk a different path toward a single, united Japan. In 1560, Imagawa Yoshimoto marched with 25,000 warriors toward the capital. Oda Nobunaga answered with barely 2,000 men and attacked. At the Battle of Okehazama, a fierce storm swallowed the battlefield. Nobunaga struck through the chaos and cut down the great warlord himself. This impossible victory shook all of Japan. A young daimyo from Owari had announced his arrival to the world. Nobunaga moved fast, adopting firearms, opening free markets, and crushing temple armies. No rule was sacred. No tradition was safe. Bearing the seal of rule the realm by force, he marched into Kyoto. The Ashikaga shogunate, which had stood for 2 centuries, fell before him. Among his rising commanders stood a small, eager soldier of peasant birth. His name was Hideyoshi, and his time was coming. As Nobunaga's conquest swept across Japan, Hideyoshi rose beside him, his most trusted general. Swift as lightning, Hideyoshi led armies across distant lands, earning fame through bold tactics and unmatched speed. Far to the east, Ieyasu chose a different path. Bound by alliance, he built his strength in silence. While Nobunaga reshaped Japan, Ieyasu quietly secured his domain, waiting, enduring. Then on a single night in 1582, a trusted retainer named Akechi Mitsuhide turned his blade against Nobunaga. The temple of Hon-no-ji fell to flames. Nobunaga was gone, and Japan trembled once more. In 1575, Nobunaga faced the fearsome cavalry of the Takeda clan at Nagashino. He prepared a weapon not of steel, but of fire and strategy. 3,000 arquebuses lined up behind rows of wooden barricades. Rotating volleys of gunfire unleashed a wall of smoke and thunder. The legendary Takeda horsemen charged and fell, wave after wave. No cavalry in Japan had ever faced such devastating, relentless firepower. The Battle of Nagashino shattered the old rules of war forever. Nobunaga had proven that discipline and innovation could defeat tradition. Victory in hand, Nobunaga turned his eyes to a new kind of power. On the shores of Lake Biwa, he ordered the construction of Azuchi Castle. 7 stories of stone and gold rose above the land, a declaration to all of Japan. The age of Nobunaga had truly begun. On the second day of June 1582, Nobunaga rested at Honno-ji Temple in Kyoto. He was one step away from ruling all of Japan. In the darkness before dawn, the sound of armor surrounded the temple walls. Akechi Mitsuhide had turned his 10,000 blades against his own lord. Outnumbered and betrayed, Nobunaga chose fire over surrender. The destroyer of old order vanished into the flames at the age of 48. The news reached Toyotomi Hideyoshi on the Western Front. He turned his army around and marched back at impossible speed. "13 days after the betrayal, Hideyoshi crushed Akechi at Yamazaki. The Avenger had become the heir. Far from the flames, Tokugawa Ieyasu escaped through the mountains of Iga. He said nothing. He waited. His time was not yet, but it was coming. Toyotomi Hideyoshi stood at the summit of Japan, regent, unifier, master of all. Yet the man who had conquered the realm could not conquer time. He built Osaka Castle, filled it with gold, and dreamed of conquering Asia. But his final years were shadowed by war, obsession, and a son too young to rule. In 1598, Hideyoshi died at Fushimi Castle, still calling out for his young heir. The empire he had built in a lifetime began to crack overnight. 2 years later, at Sekigahara, Tokugawa Ieyasu crushed his rivals in a single day. The patient man had finally chosen his moment, and the world shifted. In 1603, Ieyasu was named shogun and built his capital at Edo. The dynasty he founded would endure for 260 years. Nobunaga broke the old world. Hideyoshi built it. Ieyasu made it last. 3 warriors, 1 Japan, forever changed.